By Melbourne Gunworks to do a comprehensive and honest review on the Aziak tripod range. So here it is. We've got all three models, so let's find out which one will suit you. Clearly we've got three completely different tripods here, and we're going to go through the different features each one has to see which one might suit you best. Maybe you need more than one. So the first one we're going to look at here is the Frontcountry. It is by far the largest, heaviest tripod that we have here today, but it has its own very cool features. Now for the size of it, it's actually quite light. I will put the weights up here on the screen so I'll make sure I get them right, but it's somewhere around 1.4 kilos. This tripod has this awesome ball head that has so much range in adjustment. It's just crazy. It locks up solid. It can handle really heavy equipment on the quick release, and it will hold it nice and steady for you. It is a longer tripod, so I will put up the lengths of it as well, so I'll make sure I get that right. But it is compact enough that it will sit on the back of your backpack if you're out there hiking along. Now it does only have two segments to the legs, but when you see how long they are, you'll know that this is a pretty serious bit of gear. Now, I'll also give you the heights on level ground from the ground up to the top of the adapter. Now you can see right there that this is a big tripod. It could be used for glassing standing up. It has some pretty big feet which are removable, so you could find yourself getting some different types of feet so long as you can get the right thread. The carbon fibre has stood up to the test of, I've had these for months and months. The only thing that I've sort of seen that didn't really work when it really needed to was these rubberized grips on the locks did slip on me when it had been drenched in rain. So a quick solution to that is when you buy it new is just peel back the rubber a little bit and just put a little dab of super glue in there, and you'll never have that problem ever again. Apart from that, everything else has performed perfectly. The Backcountry and the Frontcountry both have this center post, which allows you to, have a huge range of adjustment for such a compact tripod. You can also unscrew this longer center post and screw on a much shorter one to reduce the weight by a little bit more again. Now I will put up on the screen all the weights, all the folded lengths, and the extended to the first ratchet or notch, so to speak, on the first notch down to level ground with the legs fully extended. The big daddy of them all, the Frontcountry here, is, it's a big tripod, but it can handle really big optics, even a rifle on this ball head. It would be great for taking longer shots across gullies and whatnot if you had a rail on your forend. The Frontcountry is only a 2-segment leg system, but when you look at that, you can see we've got a huge amount of extension there. Whereas the Backcountry is actually still 2, but it's much more compact. And it's probably what most people are going to be aiming towards for weight and adjustability. Now with the Ridgeline, they've gone super light. It's like 585 grams or something like that. I'll make sure I put it up here so that we don't get anything mixed up, but it's only 1 segment on your legs, so you don't have that huge range of adjustment. So where that comes into play with me, 6'4", is when we're on steep country and I want to use my tripod. So right where we are here is not that steep. So it's probably going to work for me today. But as you can see, you know, I've still got a little bit to play on this side, but I'm full maxed out on this leg that you would put out the front. Now, if this ground was falling away from me a bit harder, I would lose this height really quick, like quite rapid. Get up on a 35, 40 degree angle hill, that leg is just not going to be long enough for me to sit here and glass. So I've got a few attachments here which I constantly use with my tripods. So this one here is the spigot for Swarovski binoculars. One of the main reasons I carry a tripod is to film off, obviously, but most people are probably looking at it for glassing from, putting optics on and making their optics nice and steady, and that just gives you a really good base to really search hard for your animals. So I've got the Swarovski adapter for this spigot here, and this is how I like to glass when I've got the time to sit down and really work over a face. Now, like I said before, when the terrain gets really steep, this particular Ridgeline model just doesn't have the leg length for my torso height, 6'4". And if you're sort of on the shorter side, you might sort of get away with it. But this is a comfortable height at the moment to glass straight across and down. So I can loosen off and come down and glass down, but it really struggles. I've got to really crouch down to glass up, and we're really not on a very steep angle. So I would have to reduce the stability of it and really bring the legs in to get the height, which is the only downfall of this super duper light tripod. It is, like I said, it's like 585 grams, and yeah, like you can hardly feel the weight of it. It's got a great little ball head. It's all quick adjust, and it does lock up quite good, this one. But yeah, I just think it struggles a little bit for length. If it had a third section, I think this would be a cracking tripod, and maybe that's a suggestion that I'll be giving to Melbourne Gunworks to see if they can correspond that back to Aziak. But this is super lightweight, so if you're really conscious about weight, it's relatively compact. It's not as compact as the Backcountry, as you can see there. Now I will put comparisons of length when they're all folded up, so you can look at it. But you know, there's about 3 inches there of difference in length. But the thing with this one is it's slightly taller because this only has one section legs, so only one lock, so one length, that's all we've got. Whereas on the Backcountry, we've got 2 separate ones. But where we gain with the Backcountry is we've also got the centre post. So there we go, that's better. So we have the ability to use this centre post, which will get us our height when we're glassing. A slightly different setup on the attachment there, whereas the Ridgeline has a quick release cam over system. This one has just a screw in type jobby. So now I can comfortably loosen off the ball head here and glass up, and I could obviously reduce the height if I wanted to glass down or straight ahead. It's a very basic ball. It's only got one adjustment lever here, and then obviously on your pan you've got a lock up here. Now what I have found with this particular model, so the Backcountry, is when I've got my big camera on there, it doesn't lock up completely. So just show you what we're talking about here today. So the majority of the reason why I carry a tripod is to have my camera rock steady for doing long distance filming of the deer. Now this is a Nikon P950. It weighs about 1 kilo and it has 83 power optical zoom, so the lens does come out quite a way. So that's fully out. And what I have seen with this particular tripod is the ball head will lock up, but the pan, so I've got it locked off as tight as I'd like to do it without stripping it, it will still move. It's only a little bit, and it's worse when it's windy, when it's blowing on there, but I have seen it actually, like slowly, when I've been filming something, it's all locked up, I've seen it actually panning. Apart from that, if you keep your equipment lightweight on here, binoculars and whatnot, where they're more centered and not like overhanging like this lens is, or with a heavier, like big spotting scope, you're not going to have any dramas with this. Now the ball head is interchangeable with the other models, and I'd almost suggest that we go for this. I absolutely love this ball head. It's for filming, it's spectacular. It's got so much range of adjustment that you can realistically you can pan with an animal and not get that jerky film that you get when you've got just a standard ball head and you're just loosening off. The adjustability of this one and the lockup is fantastic. So if you are looking to buy the Backcountry tripod, I'd strongly suggest upgrading to the better ball head of the Frontcountry. You will up your weight. Now I think the weight on this is 700 and something grams, so it's really quite light. So the penalty that you would induce by having the bigger, more robust ball head wouldn't really pump up your weight too much. It'd still be around about that kilo, I reckon, because that is a quite a solid ball head, and it does weigh quite a few 100 grams. I'll actually put weights of it up on the screen here. But anyway, the Backcountry, it has the adjustability for what you need if you use the center pole. I'm not a really big fan of the center pole, because once you leave this junction here of the 3 legs, you actually lose stability, and up here you've just got a little bit more movement than what you do when you actually lock down hard onto here. But that's really only a problem if you're filming from your tripod. Yeah, so that's the Backcountry. I've carried this one around a fair bit. I've done a lot of filming off it, and we actually used it to shoot a stag last year. So another use for your tripod. When you're backpacking, you really want to use your equipment for more than just one particular thing. So I film off here. I can obviously glass off here, which really does, it performs better than just freehanding. You tend to pick up more detail. But also I've got this swivel yoke, and you clamp that on there, and all of a sudden you've got a really solid shooting rest. We did shoot a stag from this rest last year, and it performed really well. So Aziak has used some real top quality components here, and the heads of these legs have these little switches that you pull out and you let it go, and it will spring load back into another notch. So you're not having to find exactly, you have to line anything up. You just pull it out, disengage it, let it go, and it will click into the next notch. Really handy. Now they go out practically flat, or past flat, this one. So you could lay this one down and shoot on the ground with it without any dramas at all, which is what I do. If you had the shorter center post, obviously you can't shoot off it on the ground with that center post the way it is, but with the shorter center post, it only hangs down. It's only about 2 inches long, so, and was the configuration I was using it in, was with the very short center post. Like I said, the taller the center post, the less stability you have up tall, but it does give you that range of adjustability, I suppose. This tripod comes in nice and neat. It can easily fit in the side pocket of any backpack that's out there. Lightweight, like I said, it's in the 700 gram bracket. It's compact. All the features of it are really top quality. The only thing that I would like to see upgraded would be the ball head. I think just would do better with a better system on locking up that pan. I have found that it does tend to just drift when you really don't want it to, and it's not a really big screw here, so the amount of effort you can really put onto it, the amount of torque it takes to lock it up, yeah, it would be better if that was upgraded a little bit. But like I said, you can upgrade it to the ball head that is on the Frontcountry, and it is a superior ball head, albeit a much heavier one. Now, just looking at the Frontcountry here, this isn't going to be for everyone, purely because of the size of it and the weight of it. About 1.4 kilos, and obviously quite a fair bit longer than your Backcountry. However, this thing, stability wise and height wise, is superior to the Backcountry. The amount of stability that you can get from this tripod is incredible. With this big solid ball head, it locks up like you've got no idea. I've comfortably shot from this, filmed from it. Yeah, it's a bit of a go-to when you don't have far to walk with it. So you can run the center post on this one as well. So it's got a huge range of adjustment. Now, I've only got one section out at the moment. Still got another section, so you can see how tall this tripod will go. And you can shorten this center post up to right about here. So you can see there's a little line there. So I can remove all that and just keep that short section in there if you want to reduce the weight a little bit. Now, it does have a little hook here, and the idea with that is that you run a big heavy weight off there, just suspend it off the ground, holds your tripod down, stops it sort of moving in the wind as well. So it's really well set up. They've thought about it a lot. The hardware on here is unbelievable. This actually has a little bubble level in it, so you can get it perfectly level for filming or whatever you're doing. Yeah, and everything on these just seems to work really well. They're an exceptional quality tripod. You're not going to have any reservations about the quality of it. The ball head on this one is phenomenal. It's so adjustable. It's crazy. It's got these other features that you can lock the ball out on one axis, so then it's only got 90 degrees this way. It's got nothing that way. So if you yeah, it's just real handy feature if you're filming and that sort of thing, to lock that out, and then yeah, you can just use your pan. So you can use your up and down and then run the pan. So if you're doing a pan, once you've got it nice and level and you lock that side out, you don't have to worry about it rolling off out of level. It's yeah, it's an exceptional ball head, especially for filming. Now obviously this has got a very similar attachment up the top here, just the screw on. Away you go, you're into it. So yeah, I think that's a pretty good wrap on the Frontcountry. I'll put up all the dimensions and the weights up on the screen so that you've got a fair idea on what you're looking at. But my pick of them is probably still the Backcountry. Rightio, so there's a really good look at the range of tripods that Aziak has to offer. You've got your super compact, very light Backcountry. You've got your ultra light but very simplistic Ridgeline, super light, so light, it's ridiculous. Or you can get the stability and rigid construction of the Frontcountry with huge amount of adjustability. You can go from glassing sitting all the way to standing with this one, and it is, yeah, just a cracking bipod with this huge big ball head on it. So if you're in the market for a new tripod, why don't you head down to Melbourne Gunworks and check out the Aziak range of tripods. I'm sure they've got a model there that'll suit your needs. Anyway, there's a wrap. We've had a good look at the range of tripods from Aziak. If you've got any questions, leave them in the comments. I'll get to them and answer them for you. But for now, I'll see you on the next one.